Guys, welcome back to another episode of Quarantine Marketing. And just like we talked about yesterday, my friend John is right here, right in front of us. He's saying hello. He has himself muted for a second while I'm talking. But yesterday we talked about the art of copywriting, right? And today we're going to talk about a format that goes into copywriting, which is short and long copy.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people, especially new marketers or old marketers, the question that's been around since the dawn of mankind, which I'm obviously over exaggerating here, is which works better? Is it short form or is it long form? And the truth of the matter is this: it really doesn't matter. You just need to write enough to make that sell or to make that person take the next step. And there's a lot that goes into that. So some of the stuff I'll be saying will be a little bit repetitive from our last call that we had yesterday, but a lot of it simultaneously will also be different. There's a lot to be covered here. So
guys, again,
repetition is the key to success, correct? So sometimes repetitive content is good to hear. You guys are going to learn a little bit about the short and the long copy. But guys, make sure you're subscribing. Click the button below. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram. And stay tuned. We're coming right back at you with some short copy and long copy content. So Jonathan, talk to me a little bit about what short copy content looks like and what long form copy content looks like. Talk a little bit about it. Obviously, you can't screen share. We're just having a conversation today. And if you guys want to learn a little bit more about that, make sure you guys are tuning in with Jonathan. He'll answer all your questions. All his contact info is below. But tell me a little bit about short and long copy content, a little bit about the difference between them. And I know you said that whatever you put into it, the ultimate goal is to sell. But what do they look like?
100%. So this is such a really good question. We'll probably go like half hour on this. So let's start with short copy, and let's talk about what that looks like. Short copy could be a sentence, could be 3 sentences, it could be 2 paragraphs, 2.5 paragraphs max, right? So it depends again on your audience and where they stand and the product and service that you're selling. There's so many factors. So when you're writing short copy, let's say you're, let me look at something. You know what? A handkerchief. Let's say you're selling this handkerchief, right? There's not much you really got to say about a handkerchief that you put on your suit or, in your suit, pocket or blazer pocket, right? So short copy.
Can I just mention
Yes.
something?
I love how perfectly you put it in there.
In
Oh,
there. Suit pocket. Without even like folding it or making it look nice. I'm impressed. But go ahead.
It's from, like Alex said earlier, repetition is key. So it's from repetition of, putting these weekly. So look, so you're selling this handkerchief or, this suit pocket handkerchief, whatever you want to call it, right? And let's say I'm just gonna wing some copy off, out of nowhere. You could say something along the lines of, look good with high quality silk handkerchiefs that lasts a lifetime and never loses its color even after 100 washes. Okay, so like, what's the desire there? What's the goal? The goal is to look good, add an extra piece to your suit jacket here, right? You add an extra piece to your suit jacket to stand out from the crowd. And not only that, but it lasts you a lifetime and even past, over 100 washing machines or whatever you want to call it. Now if it's hot or cold, I don't know, that could be on your sales page, but this is copy that you can put on a Facebook ad. And then on your Facebook ad, I'm going to give you a headline. So you know what? If you're a fashion design company like Vittorio, from Florida, right? If you're a fashion design company, your headline could be like how to stand out in public, or how to stand out on Zoom calls, your Zoom meeting calls, if you're a lawyer or whatever it is, in your meetings, right? And it's just something simple as a handkerchief that you could be selling for maybe a high value for $99.99. because maybe it's made out of silk and it lasts a lifetime, right? And it's good quality, you know? Now, short copy here can make sense. You don't need anything elaborative. Sorry, Alex is gonna ask me something here.
And just to kind of refrain back to repetition, a lot of the things you're talking about here is what you talked about yesterday in the art of copywriting is, you know, you really hitting those desires. You're really hitting the guaranteed, you know, 100 days, 100 washes, 100 washes that you're hitting with the guarantee, and you're giving it the proof of concept of why it works. So those are just some of the things. Again, we go back to repetition in a short version of what Jonathan just explained, just pulling it out of his pocket. He created a copy that hits all those pain points, all those desires, and everything you need to put, whether it's a short or a long.
Yes, 100%. So again, like, obviously this is not a new market and everybody knows what this is. So you just really got to find a way to separate yourself. And the beautiful thing about copy, whether it's long form or short form, you get to use words to differentiate yourself, to attract new people to your business. And then you turn them into raving customers. So this is Stablowski Eye's ultimate silk, you know, handkerchiefs that last a lifetime. And so go ahead, click on Alex's website right now to get yourself one. And it's US made, you know what I mean? So now let's get into long form copy, right? Let's say
I got a thing to say real quick. I'm smart, you know. I'd go to China once that opens back up and be able to get things from there. It's a little bit cheaper, so I probably want to get it from the US. But I like to save on cost. I'm an operations guy. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. You know, that's what makes them different, right? So boom, there you go. So even in short copy and long copy, you know what? Like Alex said, look, mine's not US made. I don't care about that because I know it's going to come quality from, you know, China or Japan or India. So in that copy, whether it's short form or long form, you can state out what your difference is. So you could say, for Alex, you could say handmade Japanese handkerchiefs that allow you to stand out from the crowd, last you a lifetime, even after even well over 100 washing machines, you know. And then when you click on that ad, you know, click learn more, shop now, the sales page, it gives a little bit more about it. It doesn't have to be elaborative. You know, Alex works in the restaurant industry, right? He understands the restaurant industry more than I do. And as a matter of fact, truth be told, he actually looks over my shoulder when I write the copy for it because he understands that demographic. Okay, now let's get to a long form copy now, right? Let's say this is going to be a new phone. This is an iPhone, but we're going to pretend it's ARP Odyssey. I'm looking at the studio thing in front of me here. So ARP Odyssey phones. Now you might want a bit more of long copy for this. People know it's a phone, but you might want to have a story about this, right? And this story, I'm going to pull something out of my behind here.
Don't pull anything out of your behind. Let's talk about the story. And you know, at the end of the day, the phone that you're holding is an Apple iPhone. You know, I don't want you pulling it out of your behind, and I can hear you laughing. It might hurt, but the point of what I'm trying to make, share something that Apple has done correctly, because they're great marketers, and they do a lot of storytelling. You see it in their commercial ads. You see it in some of the links that they put out there. You know, you've seen it. So use Apple as an example. What does Apple do successfully?
Yeah, 100%. So Apple understands how to communicate the value of their product. So that's why they have raving fans. Like once you're part of the Apple family, you eventually, you eventually end up getting a MacBook Air or Pro. You eventually end up getting the Apple Watch. Listen, Tim Cook, look, I'm not a squarehead, so my Apple Watch is circle. It's connected to my phone, but Alex is a squarehead. You know, you start getting. I just purchased Apple Care just in case something. You know, it's $10 a month, and what does it do? Like, you know, I paid this phone off. You know, let's say I lose it or it shatters, it's $100 to replace it, you know, or if the screen cracks, it's $30 to fix it, you know. They understand how to communicate their product. Now, storytelling, they don't really write long form ad copy, but they'll have long form video copy. So it's just a video, it's copy, but they act it out. And the way they tell the stories is, you know, they bring you from point A to point Z. You know, what does it look like right now? Like, so for example, let's pretend this is an Apple Watch, right? You know, I'm a squarehead all of a sudden. And here's how I use my watch. You know, I'm pretty sure Alex uses it too. Alex wakes up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. Boom, a notification comes up. It's his Apple Watch. This is a storytelling calendar. You have a meeting with, you know, I don't know, the Warren Group at 10 a.m. You know, prepare for that, or 8 a.m., whatever that is. Boom. His watch tells him, like, you know, how many cows he burnt that day. So you're bringing them through a story. And it's long form, but, you know, it might be 30 seconds. But that's how you would write long form copy or short form copy. And it's just enough to get that person to say, wow, I want to buy this product. Wow, I want to buy this service. You know, I want to be a part of that. Like, that is cool, you know. But in order to do that, you have to understand his lifestyle. Alex is a business owner. We're all business owners. So what is a business owner's lifestyle looks like? You know, he hates that he have to check his phone every time. If he just had something on his wrist, you know, that'd be amazing. Now, like Elon Musk said, Apple Watch, you know, smartwatches and phones are a thing of the past. Again, check out his tweet. Here's another version of long form copy. And you would use a storytelling for this. He's talking about microchips. So how would I write this story? Elon, take notes. You can hire us. Like I said, we're available. But here's how I would write the copy. Let's say the microchip goes off and alarm clock goes on my brain. I'm awake, and then there's a voice in my microchip, you know, in my head that says, hey, Jonathan, or hey, Alex, don't forget, at 9 a.m. you have a meeting with so-and-so. Or you don't even have to carry this darn thing anymore. And it says, incoming call coming from the Warren Group. And then you just tap your ear, right? Like, that's how you would create that story. And people are like, whoa, what is that? Like, I don't see a watch. I don't see a phone. How's this person communicating? You know, now you're going to have longer form copy because now, you know, the FDA has to approve it. You're thinking of, like, you know, insurances, you know, what if the chip malfunctions? So there's a lot of things you got to
I have to approve it.
Yeah, you know, so there's a lot that goes into that long form copy, but it's going to be long enough for them to buy that product or service. Okay. And same thing with Richard Branson too. He just launched his, Richard Branson and Elon Musk with SpaceX. They just launched the campaign so that people can go to space now, back and forth, and travel for $250,000 a year. Now, there wasn't really much copy on that. So Elon, again, call us. Alex, let's tag Elon Musk and his company in these videos. But that's another version of long form copy. People are going to think about, well, how much is it? Why is it that price? You know, et cetera, what it comes with it. So is this making sense? You know, am I making sense about long form and short form and how to utilize?
It does. It does. It absolutely makes sense. And one thing about long form that, you know, that catches my eye, and I want you to kind of expand a little bit more, because you work on these long form copies literally every single morning. Just so you guys know, Jonathan wakes up and he writes copy. That's his first routine of the day. He writes copy. He reads, he writes, he does research, and he creates something. It's you know, I'm waiting. He's talking about the phones and watches waking you up here, right? I'm waiting for my watch to tell me to go back to sleep. It doesn't tell me that. I can't tell me that. I can't be in that mindset, obviously. But you know, when it comes to long copy, sometimes you capture the attention of the reader midway through. So tell me how you capture that attention. Obviously, using different CTAs, using different imagery and creativity. That again goes back to what we talked about yesterday and the art of copywriting. It's a lot about the psychology of positioning these pages, right? And if you guys haven't watched the segment yesterday about the art of copywriting, I highly encourage you guys to scroll down. It's going to be right there. You see it right there. It's the next video that's coming up. Make sure you guys watch it. You guys will get a bigger understanding of what the art of copywriting looks like and how you can expand your knowledge on it as well. But again, refraining back, Jonathan, Tell me how you capture those consumers sometime mid through the page and what that looks like.
100%. So whether you're talking Facebook copy or you're talking about sales page copy, again, like we said before in last video, it's storytelling. You know, when you look at these Greek gods, the way they told stories, like goddess Athena, Zeus, Hercules, they were storytelling. And the best way to connect with someone is to tell them a story. You know, Alex will tell me a story about like, hey, here's what happened. He just went to Mastermind in the dunes. And he told me a story of like, yeah, man, it was so much fun, so much content, so much this and that. He piqued my interest because obviously we're in the same field. And obviously this is something that is of interest to me. So again, like now that you know your customer, you know who your ideal prospect is or your consumer is, you know, whatever product or service or both, you do storytelling. Storytelling is the best way, fastest way to grab their attention. Now, if you're talking about a sales page, you could do a story form on a sales page, which is what we've done actually for numerous of our projects. But the way you capture their attention is with big headlines that touch certain touch points. So if you're talking the middle of the page, depending on how you have your sales page set up, and let's say it's a cold prospect and you're selling, you know, this handkerchief, you know, one headline could be how to look good in public for less than $20 a month. Let's say your handkerchief business is a subscription-based product. You know, how to look good, how to stand out from the crowd, right? Like people will buy things that make them feel different. You know, man, there's so much in this topic. So there's universal desires as well too. So Alex is telling me, how do you capture that? Well, what's the universal desire of all humans? Well, financial stability, love, wealth, love, happiness, supporting something that matters is another one, and then achievements. You know, so when you're talking about this, you know, this is an achievement. I achieved the art of being able to look completely different and stand out from the crowd. And now look at me. Now I'm attracting all these women. So on that copy, along with copy, you know, like Alex said, imagery. You know, I would have a handsome guy like Alex, you know, and a nice suit and a handkerchief, and you know, maybe he takes Tom Brady's wife right next to him. Giselle, is her name? What's her name? Giselle Brady. You know, that would.
I
Go ahead.
Let me go back. I can't do that Tom Brady, even though he left us here in New England. Clearly, I'm not a Patriots fan, right? I was telling my background here, but I couldn't do that to Brady. I love Brady too much, and that's just such a lovely family. I can't do that.
But
nor do I have a chance.
But hey, you know, Alex played professional rugby, you know, so it's close enough to NFL, you know. But look, like, in addition to the copy, you know, how do you capture the attention is with the imagery as well, the video. Making sure that, you know, what your copy is actually matching the context of it. You know, so I would have Alex with a hot model right next to him, and you target that towards specific guys. You know, Alex is a youngin, so he's a business owner, 28. I would target that demographic, you know, and that's how you would do it.
Interesting. And there's so many different ways and forms of writing long copy and short copy. Again, we talked a little bit about the foundations of copywriting in our last video, guys. Make sure you're tuning in. And also, if you want to learn a little bit more about copywriting, it's not too late to sign up for Jonathan's course. That's going to be available to you for free for one day only on September 28th, Monday at 8 p.m. It's download. Just make sure you guys click on it. And you'll learn a lot more that goes into copywriting from long format and short format. And if you have any questions, just reach out to Jonathan. All his contact information is right below. It's Jonathan at oceanusdigital.com. Send him an email. He's right there. He's there to answer all your questions and educate you. That's what we're here for. That's why we started this Quarantine Marketing Podcast, to bring value to young entrepreneurs just like yourself, educating you on so many different variety of ways to do digital marketing and sell in today's new economy. Because there are so many different factors and so much to learn. You guys, we want you to stay tuned.
If you send me an email, I might bite. I'm just kidding. But you see, you could use that in copy too. Like, people always expect, you know, I won't bite. Like, now you're mind's like, well, that makes him different. He's gonna bite. What do you mean by that? I'll bite you with value, you know? So that's what I mean by that. But yeah, go ahead, check it out. It's free, September 28th. Join us. You'll enjoy it. Trust me, I know you will. It's the best copywriting program out there. And it's simple, layman's terms. Okay?
Guys, again, thank you for joining us today. Jonathan, it's been a pleasure as always talking to you. And again, if you guys want to learn how to become a great fisherman out on the web, make sure you guys are tuning in. I'll see you another day. Bye.
Bye, guys.